In this video, we are going to find percents by dividing it. In the previous videos, we saw how we can find the percent of a number or an amount by just multiplying the decimal value of the percent and the number or the amount. For instance, we said that the 10%, which is 0.1 of, let's say, 100, we just multiply 0.1 by 100 and we get 10. In this video, we are going to talk about if I know the percent and I know the result, which is 10, how am I going to find the amount or the number, which is in this example is 100. Let's do one simple example. The example is this one. If we know the 10% of a number is 20, how do we find the number? We know that the keyword of here, in this example here, this means multiplication. But the number is unknown. We don't know what exactly is the number. So I can write 0.1, which is the decimal value of 10%, times the number is going to give me 20, which is exactly what this problem is telling us. Now I have to find the number. The problem I have is the 0.1, which is on the left of the number and it's multiplied by the number. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to do the opposite operation. In this case, the operation is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So to get rid of 0.1, I'm going to divide both sides. Remember, you have to do both sides. I'm going to divide both sides by 0.1, as I have here. So I divide 0.1 times a number which is unknown divided by 0.1 is going to be 20 divided by 0.1. Now if you use your calculator, 20 divided by 0.1 is going to give you 200. So this means the number has to be 200. To test, I'm going to multiply 0.1, which is the percent, times 200. I'm going to get 20, which is what the question was asking for. The next example that we are going to do says that suppose you pay $15 for a t-shirt that is on sale for 75%. How much was the original price? Meaning the price before the 75% off. To do this question, let's say the original price, I call it OP. I know that 75% of OP, original price, is $15 because it says 15% off original price, so I have to multiply OP by 75% and I am going to get $15. I'm going to divide both sides by 0.75. The question says do not use calculator, so I'm going to go back to what we learned before and use long division. So I'm going to say 15 divided by 0.75. Remember we said that when your left hand side number has decimal, I have to move the decimal point to the right until the decimal is gone. So I have to move this one 2 digits to the right. The same thing I have to do with 15. Remember, 15, the decimal is here. So this becomes 15. So it's going to become 1500 and this becomes 75. I move the decimal 2 points to the right. And for 15, if I move it 2 points to the right, I have to put zeros here. So 1500 divided by 75. So the decimal is going to be here, and I put the decimal right on top. Now I'm going to divide 150 by 75, the first three digits here. 150 divided by 75 is 2. 2 times 75 is 150. 150 minus 150 is 0. I bring 0 down. I get 0 divided by 75 is going to give me 0 here. And then 0 times 75 gives me 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. And that's it. There is no more digits left. So the answer is 20. So this means that the original price is $20. When you give 75% off, the price becomes $15. The next question says, Alan told Jenny that 15% of his mass is 6.75 kilogram. Find the mass of Alan. Do not use calculator. So this means if the mass, we call mass, let's say with M, 15% of mass means 0.15 times M is going to be 6.75. Again, to isolate M, we have to get rid of 0.15. So I divide both sides by 0.15. Remember, the opposite operation of multiplication is division. Now I cannot use calculator, so I'm going to do long division. 6.75 divided by 0.15. I have to move the decimal 2 digits to the right, so I have to do the same thing here, 2 digits to the right. So this becomes 675 divided by 15. I get the first 2 digits, 67. 67 divided by 15 is going to give me 4. 4 times 15 is 60. So 67 minus 60 is 7. Remember, the decimal is here, so I put the decimal point here. Now I bring 5 down. I get 75. 75 divided by 15 gives me 5. 5 times 15 is 75, and the difference is 0. There is no more digit, so I can say that Alan's mass is 45 kilogram, and 15% of 45 is 6.75. The next example says, this sign appeared in a shop window. Eric pays $58.50 for a jacket. What is the list price of the jacket? Remember, this means that the jacket has a price which we don't know. 65% of that price, unknown price, is 58.50. So this means that if the list price before the discount is LP, 65% of list price is 58.50. Again, the opposite operation of multiplication is division, so I divide both sides by 0.65. And now I have to do the long division again because I can't use calculator. So I'm going to say 58.5 divided by 0.65. Again, 2 decimal to the right, so I need 2 decimal to the right. So I get 5850 divided by 65. Again, I take the first 3 digit, 585 divided by 65. I get 9. 9 times 65 is going to give me 585. So 585 minus 585 is 0. Remember the decimal is here, so I put the decimal here. Now I bring 0 down. 0 divided by 65 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0, and there is no more digit. So this means the list price is $90. The next example says that the principal reported that 75% of the total number of families, which we don't know how many, attended the school's fun fair. 360 families went to the fair. So this means 75% of that total, which we don't know, is 360. How many families have children at school? Do not use calculator again. So if the number of families is F, we know that 75% of it is equal to 360. Again, opposite of multiplication is division, so I divide by 0.75. Again, I cannot use calculator, so I'm going to do long division. 360 divided by 0.75. Again, I have to move this one 2 digits to the right, so I have to add a 0 here and then another 0 because 2 digits. So I have to divide 36,000 by 75. Now, I'm going to take 3 digits. 360 divided by 75 is going to give me 4. 4 times 75 is going to give me 300. So I get 60 down. Remember the decimal again is here, so I put the decimal right there. Now for 60 I bring this 0 down, so I get 600. 600 divided by 75 gives me 8. 8 times 75 gives me 600 again, so it's 0. I bring another 0 down, so I get 0 divided by 75 is 0. 0 times 75 is 0, so it's 0. And there is no more digit left, so this means the total number of families in the school is 480. And 75% of it is 360. The last example says that this year 40 more children joined the local soccer club than last year. This is a 10% increase. How many students played in the club last year? Let's assume last year there were number of students is, let's say, S. We don't know how many students were playing last year. We know that 10% increase, meaning 10% of this guy, S, which is going to be 0.1 times S is 40. Again, opposite of multiplication is division, so I divide both sides by 0.1. Again, I cannot use calculator, so I have to do the long division. 40 divided by 0.1. I need to move this decimal 1 point to the right, so I have to add a 0 here and a decimal here. So the division is 400 decimal point divided by 1, and the decimal point is here. 400 divided by 1 obviously is 400. So this means that there are 400 students last year in the club.